So good morning, everyone. I'm Kim. I'm the Managing Director of Colruyt Group Smart Technics, which is the innovation hub. And I present to you Serge, who's our public affairs advisor within the group. We wanted to take you a bit into our journey of autonomous transport, where we really strongly believe in a future for it in everyday life, whether it's transport for people, whether it's transport for goods, whether it's really getting the produce from land to the store. So before we start, we will take you a little bit into the journey of the group, why we see added value in autonomous vehicles, our first trials and tribulations, but also opportunities from it, and also our challenge where we see it today. And again, I can confirm with the previous speaker, it's not a technology anymore that's a challenge. It's really the legislative framework that goes around it that we should all embrace and go for. And then the importance of going for it together. So today, Colruyt is actually a family of companies, third-generation company, 30,000 employees and about 40 brands, all with their own identity, but we do share a common vision where we say that we go for simplicity and efficiency in retail. We have a very strong foothold in green ecology, social responsibility, and that's also where a bit the inspiration came to go for autonomous transport, where we say it's of course about efficiency in the long run, but it's also about a greener tomorrow, where we say we want to work, and it goes hand in hand towards ecology and social responsibility.
Yeah, as Kim said already, it's a family of different companies, but we all have the same, let us say, last name, Colruyt. We are a part of the group, so it was important to have a strong group mission that connects all of us. So together, we really want to create some sustainable added value through value-driven craftsmanship in retail. Now, maybe the next slide. If you see all those companies, it was a bit a mess. People were like, okay, we see Colruyt Group taking over different companies. So it was important to really structure the different companies around 4 verticals that you can see here. So food is our expertise already 50 years, but we also see that food, nutrition is an important component of well-being of people. Non-food, of course, we still sell non-food, and then energy is also an important vertical of ours. When we take all those verticals, we see that we can cover, let us say, 25% of the budget households of families in Belgium.
So when we look at our internal structure, on the outside, you see again the same brands in yellow. This is what you see as a consumer, or as somebody outside looking in. We have then in green and in blue all our entities that give support, the supporting operating units. And then in the middle, where you see a little word saying Smart Technics, that's where we come in and we support for innovation and towards the bigger picture. Now, why are we investing so much time in autonomous vehicles or transportation? Well, it all started from a vision, and especially from a request that came from our e-commerce branch, Collect & Go, where since more than 20 years they have taken leadership into e-commerce for food retail, combining products from whatever you see in the Colruyt or in BioPlanet, and that you can pick up, as most of you may know, from 200 points of retail within Belgium. However, of course, Corona also speeded up a couple of trends that we saw. And I have to say a bit the same as Tim, is that I'm quite lazy. I like to come home and actually not care about my groceries. So I like to order also from the comfort of my office or from the comfort of my home. So as of Corona and last year, June, we actually came up with the fact that, well, home delivery is starting to become not a must, but an urgency. So this is where Collect & Go started with 20 drivers testing in the Brussels and Antwerp region. and it actually became a very fast, big success. They expanded over 25 municipalities today in November 2022, and they even created a B2C platform with anyone who's willing to go on the platform, register as a driver, and we have today now over 1,000 drivers subscribing to say, I'm willing actually to bring the deliveries for my neighbor lady or to perhaps also earn a little extra and to do some social benefits. This is also our way to create a social network in e-commerce. So today we have 44 pickup points, and the honest truth is that Collect and Go today is a profitable e-commerce business. It's a challenging business line, but they make it with money. But the pressure is, of course, there. We, as consumers, we demand, of course, fair price, best deal that we can get. And that's also a promise they want to deliver on. And this is where Collect and Go came to us and said, you know, we also want to invest in the future. We have pickup points in the city. We have drivers now. But we also see that going everywhere, honestly, got roots, staff scarcity. We do not find enough drivers, not on a B2B platform, not in employment, not on a B2C platform. So there's not enough drivers in Belgium to go for home delivery. And to give your promise and to deliver when you order just before midnight and make sure that it's delivered the next day at your door place, well, finding drivers is a big challenge, and to guarantee on that promise is really mandatory. On top of that, we have the challenge, of course, increasing labor costs and your operational costs. But in the end, we also want to make it a profitable business with autonomous transport. And of course, we also have that promise of making sure that towards the end of customer, you want to perhaps switch to autonomous transport, choose that option, but also give it to you at the same price, same delivery, still competitive versus our competition, and we want to do it efficiently and ecologically. All of this, of course, with the first condition, which is safety. So today we're starting with last mile, but our ambition goes beyond that. We're also looking today at middle mile and first mile, but we wanted to start, of course, with what is available in the market. So this is, of course, where we started.
Yeah, thanks. So you can dream about innovation and you can talk about a lot of innovation, but something that our CEO always said is just do it, try it, and we will see what we can have as conclusion and what the next steps are. So that is also the, let us say, the step-by-step approach. It's something, it's a slogan within Colruyt Group that you will hear a lot. So that is also what we applied to the project that we performed. First of all, it was important to gain enough confidence that the vehicle, and sorry for the guys of Easy Mile, but we did it with Cleven, an Estonian partner, to have enough confidence on our own side. So we made a little parcours, tried to simulate how or which barriers the vehicle could encounter on the public road. So it was important not only for us, but also for, let us say, the public authorities to be convinced of the fact that we can perform in the next phase on the public road. And then, of course, when we gained that confidence, it was important to define a route. And actually, we don't really want to do just showcases or so it was important to identify a real case. Now, we have a distribution center in Londerzeel that delivers about, I don't know, each day hundreds and hundreds of deliveries to clients, but also to our shops. And we also have a Colruyt in Londerzeel. So it was actually interesting to try to connect those two sites and to do a delivery to the Colruyt. So actually, it was not so easy to find a route or to define a route. It was, I think, 4.5 kilometers away from the distribution center. And we also had the fact that the car was only performing 25 kilometers an hour. So we had to avoid lanes where cars can ride 70 kilometers hours, for example. There were a lot of roundabout, curves, etc. But we managed to find together with the public authorities a route that we really can perform in a safe manner, actually. After that, and let us say that is really the capstone of the project, is of course to perform the first home delivery with an autonomous vehicle on a public road. That is a bit our dream that we wanted to perform, and to check whether we can step up and go to the next step that we want to realize. There is a video where you can check how it was. So that was on our own site. That was a little parcours that we organized. And then you see the vehicle go on the public road. So in the first phase of the project, actually we had a kind of safety car that was following the vehicle. It was an agreement with the federal government. So you see the colleagues just decharge the vehicle. It was short, but now you have an idea how how the vehicle performed. You want to do this slide?
Yeah. So we're proud to say that actually after a short 3 months of testing, we now have accomplished 1,500 kilometers on public roads. And we're in the city of Londerzeel the very first day when we rode. I saw the guy in his peignoir and his sloefen getting to the mailbox looking like, what the hell is this? Where is the driver? We had some really strange looks, but I have to say at the end of 3 months, the people of Londerzeel considered it as a part of the image and the roadside. So adoption rate is quite big, I have to say, and I was also very pleasantly surprised of it. We had no incidents. We had 15 home deliveries. People calling us adamant to have it delivered at their home, although they were not on the route. So a lot of attraction and people actually saying, you know, for the same package, I would actually choose the option of delivering it autonomous. We had a lot of redundancy throughout the project. We had a following car. We have also remotely still a driver that can take over the wheel or the steering if needed. So it's technology hand in hand with the driver profession changing. And we had double redundant connectivity coverage. And we even had French fries delivered to our colleagues from Estland to give them a bit of a taste of Belgium. So all in all, I have to say, technology-wise, it was a fantastic experience, very safe. It built a lot of confidence. Collaboration-wise, also with the government, with the city, the police, a very amazing experience. But what's missing now is the big step. How do you make this industrialized or covered to a big city? And that's where we want to go next. So when we look together, if you want to go fast, as the African proverb says, go alone. If you want to go a long way and sustainable, well, you have to go together. So this, of course, couldn't have been done without a lot of stakeholders within the Colruyt Group, Collect and Go, the company Cleven that accompanied us, and of course, even insurances, that comes also into the picture, or mobility coverage, but especially to a lot of stakeholders, both on city level, police level, Flemish, and of course also the Ministry of Mobility and Transport. It was a great collaboration, a lot of fast exchange, and I have to say a lot of belief also in it, and very close exchange and flexibility on that.
Actually, I wanted to go further on what the previous speaker said as well. We do not have to wait, because today the legislative framework in Belgium only, there is the only possibility to perform just tests. So we can have hundreds of tests, but at a certain moment you really need to have a structural rollout of autonomous vehicle on a public road. That is what we want to achieve. So what we saw in the comparative analysis that we conducted is that actually Germany has an interesting legal framework. So we actually don't to invent the hot water, or so we can check in Germany how they did it, and just to do the same actually. So what we actually want to do is to, as I said, you have a code of practice today, but it's something that is from 2016. We are 2023 now. You see also that only tests are possible, and actually we have the absence of a real SPOC. What Kim tried to say it in the previous slide with the stakeholder management, you saw that we had a lot of one-on-ones, collaborative group with the Flemish authorities, collaborative group with Landerzeel, collaborative group with the federal government, but it's really important that we all gather in one room and that we can just define the framework of the test itself. So the to-be situation for us, let us all work for or strive to a legislative framework. Actually, also to define a map where we agree where autonomous vehicle really can perform. And a third point is that we really need a kind of task force where all the stakeholders are together.
Can go to the next one.
Yeah.
So let's get political. We need you all, whether it's personal transport, whether it's getting your kids to school in the future, whether it's bringing the food to your table or bringing it from farm to the store. We need you kind of to really come together. Let's share the knowledge within industries, within retail. We're looking at our competitors or other industries to really start and look at how can we push Belgium and make it economically also prosperous. But you can only do it if indeed there's a bigger framework and openness and a big interest for it. Again, it's not technology holding us back now. So next steps, well, to unveil it here, we will go by the end of this year for a full city, a bigger city. I'll let you guess which one it is to keep it a little bit enticing. And if we go to the next step, I think also we wanted to share with you is that we started with last mile. We're also testing with autonomous transport in logistical centers with forklifts, but we're looking at trucks, reach trucks and Terhills. So whomever is interested, reach out to us. We're willing to exchange, to partner up, to invest together in it, and to really go for a brighter future, which is ecological and efficient. Thanks.
Thank you, Kim and Serge, for these very inspiring words and the call to action. I think it's an important one. So maybe during the breaks we can see who is willing to engage in this idea. I think it might be worth pursuing. Before going to the coffee break, which I think we may need because the presentations were extremely interesting, but also extremely demanding in that sense, we can make room for maybe one more question to Serge and Kim. Yes.
Hello, I'm Christian from Holo in Denmark. I'll present us a little bit later. Just wondering, maybe I missed it, are you planning to continue your pilot with Clevon, or is it over? What is the next phase of the project?
The next phase is we have granted the next permit, allowing us to continue with less additional Plan B, C, D safety measures, so going for more efficiency. So we'll be continuing that in Landerzeel, and then the next step is really to go for large deployments. So we wanted to make it structurally, like Terhills is doing. We also believe that the next step is going for a structural omnipresence of autonomous transport in a city.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Since it was a very short question, maybe we can have one more short question if somebody has a short one. Yes.
Hello, Jinjun from VUB. I just have a question about the autonomous vehicle. So it's operating on the road with car, or it's on the pedestrian sidewalk? So that is there any interaction with the autonomous vehicle with other modes of transportation, or it's only a single small car that is driving on pedestrians? It will not affect the traffic of the of the ordinary vehicle.
Yeah. So this is considered as a standard vehicle, meaning it goes on the road like an ordinary car. It respects the same regulations. But we do know that due to its compact size and also to more historical cities, like in Tallinn and other cities, they're doing tests with DHL, DPD on a structural basis, and they're already present in the full city of Tallinn. There's also a historical city site where there's a lot of, how you say it, kasseien, so more old roads, I would say, also not open to cars. And they also have the permission, exceptionally, as a smaller transportation vehicle to go there. So they have the flexibility of a full car range and pedestrian zone as well.